Right. Hey there, guys. Thank you for joining me. This is just going to be a quick, almost a share with you, giving you some quick values, some good value, getting you to think a bit, getting you to self-reflect, and moving forward with a positive vision in mind. So again, 5 learnings of the day. I've done this before, and just kind of like, again, putting it out there, what these 5 learnings um, are taken from the day, and but also I have to give credit to my 15-year-old cousin Hadi Sayed, who is doing massive things online. He's 15-year-old. Really, he's just has been on the stage, speaking in front of people about driving traffic to websites, about you know automated systems that just work. Get him on Facebook if you can. He's literally Mehdi Sayed. You'll see he's very active, so he's gonna come up right on the forefront. So yeah, I mean, he shares these teachings with me as well. So here goes. We start with the first one. The first takeaway from today, from our learnings, is if you're not growing, you're declining. Truth is, guys, think about it. We are definitely all the time basically getting bigger, basically changing, right? Growing in the sense of what happens if you're in a job for too long, right? When you're in a job for too long, you tend to feel stale. You tend to feel that when you do the same task day in, day out, whether it might be packaging in a factory, you feel as if you don't learn a skill after you've mastered that bit. So truth is, it might be in anything. So you might take on a field like, more personally, it has been a part of my own experience in my life, because I was a fitness instructor, personal trainer for about 9 years coming to this year, guys. And I realized that in those 9 years, what happened was that there came a time, especially after about 4 years being in that job. I think it was pretty soon, actually, not even 4 years. I think after I graduated, because I started that job in my first year of uni. And by the time I graduated, I felt like it was time for me to actually be in the more sort of a top end role in the way things were structured there, because I felt I knew my job. I felt like I wanted to give more and I wanted to grow. But ironically, it's my 9th year there now. I mean, I'm coming to an end now as far as my employment goes there, and backing myself as a full-time entrepreneur. That's what it's all about. But that is where that is what I did. I mean, for 9 years, and there came after a 3 year of time that I really started to feel like there was no growth. And I remember that's when I started to get itchy again after a while, and I wanted to become. I picked up on network marketing. Really went out there looking for an opportunity, which basically got me well acquainted to my very good friend, business partner at the moment, Rahim Alam. www.rahim-alam.com. Have a look at that. We actually work as a team. And you know what? There was a couple of years there where it was real struggle, and to be honest, that struggle 6 years before that, 2012. So I started, and it's a massive multi-billion-dollar company. It's known as Amway, right? That was my foundation. I have to say, about exactly 4 years from today, 4 years 2 months. Let's be like, maybe it's all really precise. So between that time, I had this growth, and which was so amazing. I felt like I was alive again 4 years after being in that job. And when I came across Amway, um, I felt like again I could breathe again. I could see that I had more to offer to this earth, or to people around me, my loved ones, even people in my network. I had more to offer as a person rather than just being in one job, same role, day in, day out. And the other thing about that was that 6 years before 2012, I had been in business, and I was only about 21 at that time when I started. And then things didn't go my way. It really made me, I mean, I had a very tough lesson in trusting, and that break of trust. Incidentally, about 4 years after that, I had my marriage broke down because of break of trust as well. Again, I put a lot of trust in people. I think by nature I'm someone who likes to trust, who believes in people, who believes in going forward, but believes in also the fact that you have to have a positive outlook in life. And when you have a positive outlook in life, people can obviously try and use it to their advantage because you're more optimistic. You want to move forward. You want to take action. You can make mistakes and get over it. But people will, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful in the sense that you gotta know yourself and you gotta know who you're dealing with without getting too emotional. And that was my weakness. I was always, I could get very emotional. I could blind myself to the negatives, which were sometimes staring me in my face, but I never kind of really got involved in that. Really paid attention to it, or actually had a plan in place to counter that negative. So yeah, case is the first lesson was if you're not growing, you're declining. I really felt that growth when I came network marketing. Then I came, online industry became part of my life about 2 years after that, and oh my God, the changeover. Whew, wow. What I felt was always in the blood. It happened, but it was growing. It was the decision to take on the fact that I wanted to grow, and you got to make that conscious decision as well. Otherwise, there is no doubt you are declining. So, second lesson of the thing is the best way to influence the way we think is to train our minds by listening and self-development, listening to successful individuals, success that we want to emulate, success that we want to be a part of, success that actually not to be a part of, but almost want the success that we want to be part of our life. And keeping that, I mean, the fact that your mind has to be open, the fact that you have to be ready to be influenced, and actually, take over, bring it and accept it. Acceptance. When you're gaining knowledge, accepting that knowledge is very important, because once you accept it, it becomes a part of your subconscious, becomes a part of your conscious mind, and actually then the change starts to happen when it becomes a part of your everyday life. And surely the truth is that the, the growth is intertwined with this part of listening to success or gaining knowledge. And it's also best, like I said, the best way to influence the way we think is to train our minds. So we've gotta train our minds to believe. And when we've been in a certain situation for too long, then that belief actually starts to limit itself, because we've consciously, our mind is thinking of the same pattern day in, day out, so it almost finds it difficult to adjust to something new when we actually operate that. So keeping that in mind, moving on, the third point is that there is a price for success, but there's a bigger price to remain yourself. There is a price for success. There definitely is a price for success. I felt that. I mean, I was at that time, in 2012, when I went into network marketing, I was in a brand new relationship, and I was getting over, and I was moving forward in my personal life as well. And it was about 2 months before I was just about to get married to my fair lady, who I'm with now, and I have a 3-year-old kid, very charged up, wired kid, full of life. But that, again, the price of success was, I realized by committing to the fact that I wanted to grow and be successful. Being in the job, it was almost evenings were free, could come back home, put my feet up, watch a bit of telly, and that. Then all of a sudden I realized that, I was working 7 days. I was working only 7 days, but daytime job, full time, and then in the nights or in the evenings, afternoons, I was all that was going through this was my business. And conventional network marketing, when you're starting over, guys, I mean, those of you who've been involved in it, you know how much it can be basically a part of your, it can take over you, because of the amount that you have to say, adjust to, absorb to, unless you start to organize that. There's a point where it just takes over. And I know that at that point, my better half, my dear wife, she was kind of like, it came to a stage about 4 or 5 months in. We got married, and after that, soon she was pregnant. And at that point, it started to become a thing where because of my focus being on the business so much and wanted to grow so much, we used to have these conversations where I didn't have enough time to really give to our relationship. And I put my hands up and said, you know what, It is what it's one of those challenges, and that's the sacrifice you give to success. You're all for success, because success, it requires its own demands, and you have to adjust to those demands. Surely, if you can be strong enough to be organized and actually say, okay, you know what, this is how much you can give, but be consistent. The consistency is where success will become a presence in your life. And for sure, I mean, you can do what you can, give time to your family and be successful, but you have to be super organized, and then that's what you got to take in. um, but yeah, nonetheless, there is a price of success. You have to be willing to accept that price, and you have to be willing to be ready to give that price, and go forward with that mental attitude. Again, the fourth lesson: become the best person you can be. Become the best person you can be, because why else have you been put on this earth? Uh, how many times are you going to get this chance? How many? All of us know it's only one. So once you've got that in your minds, guys, I mean, the only way you got to look is up and over, up and above, upwards. I mean, when I say onwards and upwards, onwards and upwards. The truth is, the moment that's just passed, in which I was giving you the first, second, third point of this learnings, that moment isn't going to come in our lives again. So you got to take in what life has to offer and actually make a conscious commitment to yourself to becoming the best person you can be, giving this earth or giving the world around you, giving your loved ones around you the best of yourself, to really experience the best that the life has to give back to you. And that is the attitude one has to have to really experience those extraordinary experiences of life, and what the world has to offer. And the last one, guys, is you take ownership for what you can create. You take ownership. You gotta stay with it. You gotta, and again, taking ownership is being consistent, committed, coachable. Consistent, committed, coachable. All the time, every time. You gotta ensure that you're consistently present, where when you know what's special about your life and what you're basically offering, that you can offer that day in, day out. And it doesn't have to be in quantity, but quality. Okay, again, it's about being the best you can be. And then when you take ownership of what you created and own it, then no matter how little it is, it's gonna influence it in a massive way. So guys, I'm gonna leave you with that. Hopefully you found this valuable. Get in touch with us, okay, if you wish. www.onlineinventor.info. We do give free 30-minute strategy sessions for those of you who are looking to just kind of like open your mind up a bit more. If you have a business hurdle that you want to come across, you want to get across, again, fill out the form on this address, www.onlineinventor.info, and get in touch with us. Again, you've got testimonials on www.rahim-alam.com. Visit the website, look at what we've done already, and we are here to connect. We are here to network. We are here to go forward together. Our mission statement, guys, we rise by lifting others, and it absolutely is like that. Get in touch. We'll be really, really happy to kind of move forward together on this. Look forward. Okay. Have a great night or day.